call to order. Invocation will be by Commissioner Hart. Pledge of Allegiance will be by Commissioner Kennedy. Let's stand, please, and roll call.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity we have to come together as brothers and sisters to conduct the city's business. We pray for your divine guidance in this meeting. Help us to come together in the spirit of unity. Even though we may disagree, let us not be disagreeable. We pray and thank you for our professional staff, our city staff, that does a great job of taking care of our citizens. Remember our police officers and our firemen as they protect our city. Watch over them as they watch over us. We're so careful to give you the praise, the honor, and the glory you do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
Commissioner Wilson?
Here.
Mayor Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Ferstner?
Here.
Commissioner Hart?
Here.
All right, presentations and proclamation, we have none tonight. We're going to have staff reports and an agenda review, and we have an emergency item. So that's going to be Assistant City Manager Chadrick. Or Mike Rumer.
Thank you, Mayor. Mike Rumer, Development Services Director. Copies are coming. The emergency item we have is the Fourth Amendment to the purchase and sale agreement between Wire Development, who goes by, has a different development name now, in the city for the purchase of the land near the high school in the Crown Point. The reason we're bringing this Fourth Amendment to the commission is to get the closing of this property across the goal line. We were shooting for a December 21st to mid-January closing. What's unique about this closing with this property is it is interacting with the parcel that OCPS is constructing the technical college school on. And the southern tract in this purchase from Wire Development from the city has a joint road that they are utilizing. And as that road construction continues, we're covering some contingencies of items such as drainage easements for the site to underneath a new public road, which wasn't initially envisioned in the PD, and then drainage easement between OCPS. And so we're trying to kind of cover this, what happens when the property closes, and then we have a road that's going to be finished and then turn public after that. So that's what this amendment does. It provides enough protections for the purchaser and for the city at such time as the closing happens that we can less out land in the closing for a future road, but also provides them an opportunity if for some reason OCPS were to stop constructing the road, that they could come in and finish it. So we'll close, put a little money in contingency, about $250,000, and if the road were to stop being constructed, they could come in and finish it so they could access the site. One of the other items is we're doing we're providing them with access on the parcel after the sale before it turns into official right-of-way. So these are just little intricacies dealing with the construction that's going on. Presently, the road is curbed and it's at the base and sub-base level. So the road will be finished here in a few weeks. Well, the way things are going, we'll add some percentage onto that. But this is just to cover so we can get this closing done. And this sort of came up when we went, first initially entered an LOI with this developer, Wire Development, and then moved on to a contract. We were trying to facilitate that closing as well as make sure we get this technical school. And this is going to help us solidify that. So the only change is we're going to put $250,000 in contingency just in case the road was not completed and they could come in and complete it. But otherwise, if there's just some minor intricacies with this Fourth Amendment. Thank you.
Seller shall deposit. The seller is depositing the $250,000, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just reading that here.
It's not a discount or anything. It's just another way to ensure the purchase that if for some reason the road was not completed, it would get completed either by the city or they could utilize those funds with their site work.
And we anticipate that it would cost 250?
Yeah, it's pretty close to being done. The hard part's done. It's just the asphalt and striping. But it includes a roundabout, so just a little bit higher level than basic road.
Another roundabout.
Anybody else have any comments?
Nope.
No. Nope. All right, do I need a motion?
Yes.
All right, I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Commissioner Wilson's making the motion for emergency item. Do her second,
I'll second.
seconded by Commissioner Hart. Any more comments? No more comments. Do you have anything to read on that? No?
No, sir.
That's it.
That
All right.
motion's for approval.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, let's vote. Motion carries unanimously, thank you. All right. Public comments. I have one here from Mr. Moyer.
Jim Moyer, Arden Park. I want to thank the city and High Point Church for recognizing the 103rd anniversary of the Ocoee massacre, Election Day massacre, in which I'm proud to say that all but one of our Human Relations Diversity Board was in attendance, so I was very happy about that. I also wanted to thank the city for what I view as an outstanding Veterans Day event here, in which many of the post 109, Ocoee post 109 American Legion were attended, post 63 and Winter Garden were in attendance. Speaking of American Legion post 109, thank you to the mayor and the commission for their very generous donation of your funds, your discretionary funds to support our post. We are now able to send 2 people this year. Normally we only send 1. This year we'll be able to send 2 11th graders to what's called Boys State, the 80th anniversary of Boys State. And I asked our commander, and I'm hoping that when they get back next summer, that they will come to the commission and express their experience in Tallahassee with all of you. Also, I just wanted to mention Thursday, the 82nd anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor, where 2,403 Americans were killed in a short period of time, 2,008 of which were sailors. And then, of course, in the ensuing World War II that we went into, there were hundreds of thousands of American soldiers that were killed, mostly Army personnel. So thank you for your time, and God bless you. God bless the city of Ocoee.
Thank you, Mr. Moyer. All right, we have another one here. Sama Hussein.
Good evening. First off, I would like to understand, am I speaking under public comments or am I speaking under a presentation?
Public comment.
Then I would like to, in light of Florida Statute 116.0409, reserve my right to make a full presentation at your next scheduled meeting as the opportunity was not afforded to me tonight. Florida Statute 116.0409 gives me the opportunity to speak to you with no limitations on time or content.
I'm not quite sure what she's asking here. You want to speak now and at a future meeting?
No, if you're limiting me to public comments of 3 minutes, I'm asking,
This is public comment, and the commission allows public comment. If you'd like me to make public comment, go ahead and make it.
so is it limited to the 3 minutes? That's my question.
But how much time do you need?
Then I would ask that you follow Florida statute and reserve my right to make a full presentation at the next commission meeting,
How much time?
as long as it takes to read my statement.
You have to research and see.
Yeah. What's the statute you're quoting there?
1160409.
Yeah. I'll pull it up while
Okay.
if she's going to speak tonight.
I will not speak if you will not allow me my time.
But you're allowed the 3 minutes, and the mayor has discretion as the chairman to grant you additional time.
3 minutes.
If it appropriate, and the commission can back that up or not.
3 minutes is not acceptable from the statute. The statute says I have the opportunity to give a full presentation with no limitations.
But that's why I'm asking you what kind of.
She-
I'm sorry. I can do that, but I gotta have some kind of.
I'll afford you the time to research it and come back to your next meeting.
No, he's asked you for the amount of time, and you haven't given it to him, so that's an unreasonable request, ma'am.
Well, as long as it takes me to read this. That could be 5 minutes, it could be 6 minutes, I don't know, I've
All
not
right,
timed
I
it.
tell you what, I'm not gonna put it off. I'll give you, up to 8 minutes or something, so. That enough?
Yeah, should be fine.
Okay, all right.
So first, I just want to say good evening and express to you that I'm not a bitter former employee. I'm a disappointed professional. In my 7 years of service to this community and 30 years of service in another, I've never compromised my personal integrity in any manner. Please forgive me for reading this. It's much more comfortable to read it than it is to speak it. God's path for my life has always been to be a servant, and I exalt in tribulation as I stand in his word. Being the Ocoee Police Department chief did not define me. My life of service has. I believe as employees, we are accountable to establish rules, processes, and procedures, and I've had to make hard decisions, which every leader must make. Employees sometimes miss their grievances with the process and not the leader imposing the sanction. Police chiefs give away their credit to their employees and shoulder blame themselves. How should a police department or the direction of a police department be judged? Low crime stats, staying within budget, successfully attaining reaccreditation, staying abreast of technology, hiring of qualified candidates, and always moving forward by ensuring our training is superior and never sacrificing quality. We have a strong foundation of accountability and great relationships with our union representation. Neither should be judged on false or tainted information brought forward with only one objective. The only difference from my perspective is cronyism, as the manager's long-term friend provides misinformation which could have been easily invalidated with little effort. He's also quick to assert the manager in his conversations, actions, and comments. He's made inappropriate comments about me, negative comments about other directors, and sarcastic comments in front of personnel. My only offense seems to be being a strong female leader as I utilize proven police policies and tactics. Since before I became chief, he attacked my character and reputation. He attempted to corrupt the chief's selection process, which was brought to the manager's attention with no action being taken. A department employee left for fear of his personal actions after filing a report with the Human Resources Department. Recently, I received calls from other law enforcement leaders and union representation about his calling, making derogatory comments about me, and the inappropriateness of his conversations. I told the HR director about ongoing undermining personal attacks, yet nothing was done. Over the course of the last 2 years, I've been told by other city directors and departing city directors about how the manager's friend is out to get me and undermining me with City Hall at every opportunity. He's even solicited a union employee to join with him in a campaign to get me fired. He solicited an internal employee to make a complaint with HR after we agreed on a course of action for a specific situation. I've also recently learned he made those same types of comments to citizens. He countermines the direction of the department using an ends justifies the means approach. This is a proven course of conduct. He told me directly he will bend the rules up to the breaking point to his advantage. I've never put employees in the middle of these attacks and tried to rise above the moment, not speaking of the behavior of person to others. In our meeting on July 14, 2023, I confronted him on these ongoing attacks against me, noting he has done me more damage and I have never retaliated or done anything against him. He smirked and shook his head. For the last several months, one employee has been stating they're going to use an elected official or the HR director to get me removed to other employees in the building. It's well known at the department this employee has joined forces. This fact was confirmed by another employee who commented to me the elected official had asked what was going on at the PD and later confirmed in a conversation with the manager on September 6, 2023. However, I did not act on these rumors or change my interaction with this employee. In early September, I learned of another situation which was not properly managed by the employees unit. The supervisor of the unit, the employees should have been aware and taken steps to avoid the situation in others. When an individual supervisor becomes too arrogant to community needs and the safety of his or own coworkers because of their ego and needs, it creates a concern. While this is a professional organization, it is a business, and personal opinions have never been part of my decision-making process or how I treat employees. In fact, a 6-month exit plan was also rumored for me. I had employees apologizing to me on a regular basis for the behavior. I always diffused the situation by saying it was not their worry, they would be okay. Most were fearful of becoming targets of his friend or other employees' wrath, as they had always given him grief over honestly answering a question I asked. On September 20th, 2023, I informed the manager about this series of negative conversations which involved parties external to the department. I requested his relief and guidance as it was damaging to me and the department. This was the first time I made a grievance, and there was no plausible deniability as I had external parties as witnesses. It appears my grievance was met with blindness, as it was after my request for relief this action was taken against me. I was not afforded due process as required by your PRRs. I brought a grievance forward which was never addressed. If my professional acumen was as flawed as presented to you, then why did it take 7 years to appear? In fact, the manager's only spoken to me once about the direction of the department, which was a skewed facts presented by his friend by his own admission. These skewed facts could have been easily invalidated with little effort. I implemented his novel 3-chief leadership plan as directed. This is not indicative of any police leadership training or used in any law enforcement organization anywhere. I later told him I put my money where my mouth is and told him he could call the union stewards. In June 2023, he told me I was doing well as he had lunch with his friend and they did not talk about the department. I believe my one and only request for relief from this behavior led to the action taken against me after a coordinated effort, which is a violation of PRRs. I've also tried to rise above these continued attacks out of fear of his relationship with the manager, and when I sought relief, none was garnered. Police departments should be free of cronyism, political interference, and internal affairs case should be kept confidential. On October 30th, 2023, I attended a meeting to discuss concerns, but was barraged by the manager. He told me how worried and upset I was, yet I was not. I had done nothing wrong and have notes to validate my conversations. He said how odd it is someone would say one thing and I said another. He suggested he could help me craft my letter and I could stay on as an advisor or reserve. If I was that flawed in leading this department, why would you keep me on? Never before in 37 years of service have I been treated with such disrespect by my immediate supervisor. I never spoke with the manager after that date, although I did make attempts to do so with no response, which was not uncommon behavior to me. During the 2-week period, I made no one aware, conducted business as normal. Truth be told, if the manager had had a professional conversation with me about not wanting me to be part of his staff, I'd have made a different decision. When confronted with a personal attack, I felt compelled to stand on truth, which is why I was dismissed. I've been a dedicated member and became one of your citizens, dedicating myself to the department and this community. I serve this community with my heart, which is uncommon for many in my position. The same professional you saw in this community is the same person our employees saw, with one difference. I held personnel accountable, avoided problems lying in wait, and used every opportunity to help them grow in their position. Like all families, we have our highs and lows. I have 37 years of experience training and always grow my professional knowledge and continued learning. When I arrived here, this type of attack was the norm. We had grown into a more professional culture. My separation was announced to the employees without anyone notifying me of it. On Friday, November 17, 2023, I received an going another direction letter in the mail at my home. Your policies require an employee to agree the process to the manager, yet there's no external processes when the manager is intimately involved. There is no name clearing or other venue when you work directly for him. I was forced to this position so I could provide information to clear my name, yet my dismissal will never allow for a full clearing of it. I personally know other department directors who have faced similar situations, yet I'm the only one to whom the harshest blow was delivered. As stated in the PRRs, in the case of termination of their employment, they shall be provided due process for regular full-time at-will employees. Being an at-will employee is no excuse for disparate treatment among this classification of employees. As I was afforded no due process, I implore you to reconsider my dismissal and determine what due process rights I'm entitled to in accordance with the PRRs. I do want to remind anybody who is recording this, I am a former law enforcement official and my personal information is confidential and should not be released, as I've already received phone calls on my personal cell phone from the media. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. That's all right. We're going to move on to the public comments are over. That's all I had on the sheets. So we're going to move on to consent agenda. Any discussions on the consent
I
agenda?
have a couple just
All right.
comments. I'm not pulling it, okay? I'm not pulling it. just-
Okay, go ahead. Which one?
Just want to clarify on numbers 24 and 25, because they kind of, I think these are the ones that kind of bleed together. There's a few of them that bleed together. Just want to confirm, Mike, the Pine Street, I read this in here, but I just want to confirm it verbally. I think it's 24 and 25.
Yes, you're right.
The Pine Street, that will not open we will not open Pine Street up to commercial traffic.
Correct. With the 429 West, which is the one that adjacent to Pine Street, the east and west will create a new east-west road from Ocoee, Apopka to the site. We will cut the pavement back a good distance short of Pine Street, so there'll be no physical access to that site from Pine Street, and it is not intended to be open for future commerce traffic until a new Pine Street is in place.
Okay,
They're correct.
as I say, I just want to
Yes.
confirm, I read that in there, but
Yes.
I know this was a discussion a few years ago with Pine Street, and I just want to make sure that we're all on the same
Yes, we
page.
are paring the pavement back, and they're putting structures to prohibit the access, and it will not be signed as such. It's intended just to remain the local road it is and not have access.
And just one more item on there that really doesn't need it, just going to say, all those who want pickleball, you're going to see some new pickleball courts, so that's
52.
that's a highlight, so thank you, Mark. That's highlight in here, and there's other things that are in here, but the pool being resurfaced, we're doing a lot of things that are positive, so Parks and Rec, thank you. I think that's all that I had a question about.
All right, anybody else?
I'd like to pull number 6.
Poll number 6, okay. Is that the only one?
Yes, sir.
Nobody else have any? All right, we're gonna go ahead and make a motion for everyone except 6.
I'll make that motion to approve.
All right, motion made to approve all the consent agenda except item 6.
I'll second.
Second. Second by Commissioner Hart. All right, we'll vote on that, and then we'll go back to 6. Let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. All right, Commissioner Kennedy.
Thank you, Mayor. Reading the staff report and the appraisal, I'm not in favor of item 6. The commission's already voted and given direction of how to dispense with the code and the liens, and I don't feel like paying. I'm not really interested in purchasing the property, and I'm certainly not interested in paying more than appraised value. I'd be willing to send this back to staff to look at it, look at another solution, but I'm not satisfied with this recommendation.
All right, anybody want to discuss that? One of the reasons is because it's up for sale and somebody's already asked about buying it to do some other, kind of like same situation will be into problems of having to do that and go through the court system again, which has been going on for over a year. So I will vote for it because I want to get that over with, and we need to get that out of there. We need to have that problem solved. And I know it's appraisal, if we figured it out with eminent domain, it would come up to probably what it's going to cost here anyway. So that's the problem when you get into eminent domain. But we've got it. We got to get this thing settled, and there's already somebody else offered to buy it besides us. So if they buy it, then clean it out. We won't have we'll have the same problem again of what they want to put in there. So that's why I'm for getting it done and getting it paid, getting it over with. And believe me, I've been one caught most of the problems because of that thing over the last year and a half. A few bad phone calls and a few bad comments, but that's part of the job. But that's why I said I'm for doing that. The city will have it then. We can do what we want to. I know we'll have it but we still haven't heard from the court on the other one. I don't know when that's going to be. But if he turns around and sells it to somebody during the process, then we're stuck. So I think it's worth the venture to buy it and get it over with and get it settled.
It is in the overlay, correct? That property is in the overlay?
Yes.
And we did tell this individual that they couldn't do what they were going to do in that property.
I agree with it.
Correct?
Yeah, that's correct. But the problem is, it is a citizen. and listen, believe me, and there is some serious problems going on with that right now. Some of us know, some don't. But I don't know if we've had other citizens we've done that with, because you try not to put the burden to them, too much burden, so of doing that. So I kind of, believe me, like I said, I'm the one that's been pushing this thing because of all of the comments I get and everything else about that place. But this is a good way to solve that problem. We'll own it, then we'll keep it, make it something that we can use for, even if it's parking, at least we'll do it the right way. So,
I understand what Commissioner Kennedy is saying, but I want to get that area cleaned up because talk about a blighted area.
That's what we
It is
gotta
a
do
blighted
it.
area that we have in our downtown, and it is going to get us $10,000 back. I know that's not a great consolation for what we.
It's no consolation.
It really isn't, but
And you're rewarding bad behavior. I mean, why let somebody profit for what has been done? If you want to, in my opinion, if you want to pay $100,000 and pay off the mortgage and collect our attorney's fees and leave them with the proceeds, that I'd be in favor of that. But I mean, I wish somebody, that's $275,000 of value. The 115 we're owed and 160 going out. I wish somebody would write me a check for $275,000.
we're not paying $275.
But it's $275,000 of value. We're owed 113 and we're paying 160. The spread on that
Yeah, but
is
we've
ridiculous.
never, I've said, you can stick it to the citizen or not stick it to them. I know, and I believe me, I don't particularly like what happened.
I'm
But
not
here's the
trying
deal.
to stick it
We-
to the citizen,
I know,
but
I'm
I
not
don't want to
arguing with you.
reward the citizen
You
either.
can make a motion to do what you're saying. If it,
Okay.
you can make a motion to do what you're suggesting.
I'd like to remand this back to staff for a better option. I'm not in favor of paying $160,000 for a property that appraised at 100, and I would be a lot more amenable if the property was cleared. Bringing the property into compliance would go a long way towards improving my option on this.
that's the last sentence. It says that prior to closing, it must be brought into clear
Yeah.
of all belongings in the cellar and in full compliance.
I don't agree. Make your deal after you come into compliance. Come into compliance. The whole point of code and these fines is to gain compliance. We still haven't gained compliance, and we're rewarding. I'm not comfortable with that.
All right. You make your motion?
Yes, sir.
You made a motion?
Yes, sir.
Anybody second it? All right, no second. So now,
Can I make a comment why I can't?
Yeah.
I can't I mean, I understand what you're saying, Commissioner, but my biggest concern is it is creating such a blighted area in our downtown, and we're not gonna give a penny until it comes into compliance, because the last sentence says one's not gonna happen without the other. If I'm correct, I'm gonna point, yes, thank you. And, it's kind of like paper money. We have $100,000 in fines. But basically, it's going to be 149. Yes, we're paying extra, but should I say, we just have to get that out of there. That's a
Right.
parking area. That's a place that either you sell it or you can use it as a parking area. I assume it could be used.
Well, if there's a buyer for it, I don't understand what the problem would be with letting the private market buy it and clean it up.
because then we're going to be going through the same thing. I don't want to get into what they're talking about doing, but the problem is we're going to be fighting that in court again. We're going to go through the same cost of what we've done to get through that again by going to court. And then
Wouldn't we have to foreclose?
Yeah, we have a pending
if it happens, if
foreclosure.
it sells before the foreclosure,
Right.
it is not foreclosed to that judge rules it is.
Right, but I'm just saying,
So
it says
if
we'll
they-
have more attorney fees.
Well, but you
But
will.
we have a lien in place.
All right, all right, we've had that. Now we got to vote on this. So I need a motion for this item to do it.
I make a motion to approve the
Not-
agenda item as it is.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Ferguson. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Wilson.
Nelson, Wilson, whatever it is.
All right, any more comments? All right, let's vote.
Commissioner, I understand.
All right, motion carries with Commissioner Kennedy voting no. I understand too.
I understand.
Believe me, I hate it. So, all right. Now we move on to, let's see. First reading of ordinance, China Pin, is that China Pin property, small-scale comprehensive plan amendment from low-density residential to commercial rezoning from R1A to C2, zoning manager Whitfield.
Would you like to read it, Mayor?
First reading, and the second reading will be
January
17th of January.
January
16th
16th.
of January. Go
At
ahead.
6:15 PM.
Yeah, 6:15.
Read them both, Mayor.
Yeah.
An ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending the City of Ocoee Comprehensive Plan as adopted in 1991, as amended, amending the future land use map of the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan to change the future land use map designation from low-density residential to commercial for certain real property containing approximately 1.65 acres located on the north side of Palm Drive, approximately 160 feet west of the Pine Street and Palm Drive intersection, providing for and authorizing the revision of the official city future land use map, prevailing in the event of any inconsistency, providing for severability, providing for an effective date, and an ordinance to the City of Ocoee, Florida, changing the zoning classification from R-1A Single-Family Dwelling District to C-2 Community Commercial District on certain real property containing approximately 1.65 acres located on the north side of Palm Drive, approximately 160 feet west of the Pine Street and Palm Drive intersection, finding such zoning to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, providing for and authorizing the revision of the official city zoning map, prevailing in the event of any inconsistency, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
All right, as I said, it'll be back on January the 16th at 6:15. It'll be second reading. All right, second reading of ordinances, we have none. Public hearing, we have none. Regular agenda, none. Comments from commissioners. Commissioner Hart.
Thank you, Mayor, and once again, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great day. I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Hendricks and the Ocoee High School Band. They did a great job at the Battle of the Bands. And my wife and I had the privilege of representing Ocoee in the Winter Garden Christmas parade, and the band was there. They did a great job. My wife did her best LeBron James impersonation as she rained candy down on all the kids over on the side. But we had a great time, and I was very proud to represent the city of Ocoee. Special shout out to El Lou's Barbecue. They did a great job with that sauce. And my name is Aegis Hart. I approve that sauce. It was really good, the Carolina sauce. So thumbs up to them. And remember, when we're out celebrating Christmas, out celebrating the holidays, remember your local businesses. Support your local businesses. You don't have to go to Amazon to buy things. We have great bookstores here, so support our local businesses, support our local restaurants. I had a chance to meet with the commissioner from Oakland. We had exchanged stories. It was a great experience, and everybody wants that hometown feel, but they want Macy's next door. That's what a small city wants, but we had a great time. I had the honor to meet with the family of Mr. Gregory Reed, who was tragically and senselessly murdered in our district, District 4, at a gas station. Very tragic situation. And if you know anything about this tragedy, and I've gone to that gas station many times, I've gone to that Publix many times, and it's unfortunate the world we live in that tragedy can hit anybody at any time, and it's really rough. And like you all know, I'm a pastor, and I had to change hats on this one as you watch an 80-year-old woman who just celebrated her birthday bury her 60-year-old son because he was driving down the street. And that makes absolutely no sense to me, but that's the world we live in. So if you know anything at all, please call the Ocoee police and let them know. That one piece of information might be the piece they need to bring closure. And this person does not belong on our streets. Anybody who's shooting out of a car at somebody they don't know does not belong on our streets. I don't want them in my community. So if you know anything, please make sure you support. And hats off to our staff. They did a great job with the Veterans Day. Did a great job with the movie night at the park. And it's just, they get a lot of criticism, but you need to give them a credit when they do a great job. And they do a great job. So hats off to you guys. I really appreciate all you do. And hopefully we can keep this going and keep this spirit of unity continuing to grow in Ocoee. So once again, we're going into the holidays. Check on your neighbor. Holidays can be a great time for some people, but it can be a very depressing time for others. So let's make sure we're going the extra mile to check on each other. And once again, thanks for coming to our meeting. Bless you all and have a great, great night. Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Hart. Commissioner Hart. Commissioner Firstner.
First, I'd like to thank the Public Works Department for putting up the fence on McGuire Road down south of Meadow Ridge. That's been needing repair for a couple of years now, and finally, there's a fence up there, and it looks great. I'd also like to ask about the status on the proposed ordinance for the tree removal issue that we brought up last meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mike Rimmer, Development Services Director. We have a plan in place for the, looking at the ordinance. Do we update the city ordinance for Arbor and the Land Development Code? It's multiple ordinances, but we are looking at, I think we found a way to update just the city code in the Code of Ordinances under Arbor permits, which would provide the provision you guys were looking for to include certain types of large permits as a large-scale tree permit before the city commission. I was provided additional input from a commissioner who also asked the same question via email, and so we were looking at that. So my next step is to finalize our background work, schedule time, what we call an attorney day with the city manager and city attorney, and seek the final direction. But we are working on that. Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. Also, check your schedule for Operation Santa. It's underway tonight. You can find the schedule on either the city website or the city Facebook page. So you don't want to miss that. So check it in the next week or so. See what day your development is scheduled for. And also the Jolly Jamboree, which I'm sure Commissioner Wilson will elaborate on. It's this Saturday, December 9th, from 2:30 till 8 o'clock in the downtown area here, and the Christmas tree lighting will take place at 7 p.m. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Forstner. Commissioner Wilson.
I'll just tag on to the Operation Santa. There is brochures in the lobby, also on the website. But please remember that with Operation Santa, besides seeing Santa and having candy thrown, they collect unwrapped toys for the children's program that Ocoee Police Department runs and Fire Department. So please, if you're able to provide, while they're going through your neighborhood, an unwrapped toy. And again, those dates are on the website. Also, they post signs outside of a lot of neighborhoods to tell you when they're going to be here. I'll mention the Jolly Jamboree. The Jolly Jamboree is going to take place this Saturday. It's going to start at 2:30. We're going to have dog photos with Santa, along with dog parade, dog judging. That's always a lot of fun when you see folks come in with their pets. There's rides, there's games. We're going to have carolers roaming the streets. We're going to have different schools coming in front of City Hall who will be on the main stage singing or doing some activities for us. It's just going to be fun. It's going to go until 8 o'clock at night. I believe it's going to be wonderfully received. I don't know if anyone came to the Halloween program that Parks and Rec had at the Beach Center, but that was extremely well received. So I'm hoping this is just as well received. There's going to be a golf cart parade. I'm not exactly sure.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock of what time. Parks and Recreation Department will have more information on that for you. And again, there are flyers in the lobby. I know you can't see them. and they're on the website. So we hope you'll be here, 2:30 on, right here in front of City Hall, going down McKee Street. Santa will be here, Mrs. Santa Claus will be here. They'll be in the Withers McGuire house. And again, if you have not seen some of the decorated Christmas trees in the Withers McGuire house, bring your camera. Great opportunity to take a family photo. They are absolutely gorgeous. Keith Hendricks does the decorating the trees, as you see them here in the lobby, and they are absolutely gorgeous. And I always said you can take your family picture there. So come on down, enjoy what the benefits of living in the city of Ocoee. And I think that's all I have right now. But I wish you all happy holidays, happy New Year, because we're not going to be back here until January 16th. Thank you. And can I just mention, we have an Oakland commissioner here.
I'm going to get him up.
You going to get him up to speak? Okay. He's shy now.
Commissioner Kennedy.
Okay, so I say Merry Christmas, so I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Mike, would you mind giving a full status update on Lakewood? I know you had some remediation there, and we're waiting for some approvals. Where are we at?
Yeah, Public Works had a meeting on site with the site contractor this morning, and they will have it finished within 2 weeks, 10 business days.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I want to make a comment about the presentation by Sima. Some people have asked me, you may recall there was a previous instance where commissioners got involved in personnel issues, and I was not on the commission, but I spoke out very strongly against that. So I'm standing on that principle. People have asked me for comment or asked me my opinion. Commissioners are not supposed to be involved in personnel decisions, and that's where I'm personally leaving it. So I just want to give that explanation. I have no comment and will have no comment about that. Thank you.
You done?
I'm done.
Before I start, I'm going to have Commissioner Joseph McMullen from Oakland, who's now running for mayor, I understand. Will you come up?
He said, I didn't see it.
Is that a no or yes?
No, that's a no.
I thought you said a thing.
Yeah, let me hand this. Can you hand this out? No, yeah, it's two-sided. Good
Why don't
afternoon,
you
my name.
explain
Yes.
what we're doing in
Let me get one back, I'm
Joseph.
sorry. Good afternoon, my name is, good evening, my name is Joseph McMullen.
He needs one back.
I am a commissioner in the town of Oakland, but the reason I'm here tonight is I run a nonprofit by the name of Habco Music Foundation, and for the last 13, 14 years, we do an all-day jazz clinic at Ocoee High School. Now, of course, it does impact several schools around, or several students around the area, but it really impacts the city of Ocoee. The students there, we have jazz clinics, we have workshops, and I would tell you that's the biggest event that we've been doing for the last 13, 14 years. And not because of, when it comes to the support, not because of, only 1-2 commissioners, but Rosemary Wilson, along with Mayor Rusty, and it started back with Mayor Vandergrift, they will always come to our events. So we're doing these free, and it's a free clinic, so we'll be doing these free clinics for the students for, like I said, for the last 13, 14 years. And every time we do these events, I would tell you kids, I could tell you several stories that kids have really created their careers from these clinics. I have a student right now that I know he's performing all over the world. He said he came to that clinic in Ocoee High School. He saw one of our headliners and he said, that's what I wanted to do for my life. And that student right now is playing all over the world. When Michael Bublé was here, he was a backup trumpet player for Michael Bublé. So the city of Ocoee and this area has really been supporting us. Like I said, Rusty Johnson will come there as a commissioner and as a mayor, Rosemary Wilson. And that's not because that we are friends, it's because they really believed in what we're doing. If the band director, Bernie Hendricks, is here, he would tell you all the things of how we have impacted these students. And so we just want to share that this jazz festival, or this jazz clinic that we've been doing for years has really been impacting your citizens, of course, with other residents as well, students. But every time we did the event, we always did a jazz concert, a free jazz concert. We were bringing a college program, University of Miami, University of South Florida, University of Central Florida. We brought all different programs in, and we will always do this jazz concert at the school. Go back about 3 years, right before COVID hit, Mayor Johnson asked, he said, I want you to bring this jazz concert to the citizens. Now, it's a free concert. Now, we've been advertising, we've been doing it. We also know that it's kind of hard for people to come to a school because they don't really, see a nice jazz concert going on at a school. But we had, top musician, Wycliffe Gordon. If you look his name up, he's one of the top trombone players in the world that will come here. Jeff Ruber from University of Central Florida will come and work with those students. And a lot of those students that were in these programs are graduates from University of Florida now, University of Central Florida, University of Miami, South Florida, and they are performing and they are teaching all over this country. And I just want to say thank you to the commission for supporting us over these last few years. And like I mentioned, Mayor Rusty asked, hey, can you bring this event to our town, to our city
in the heart of our city. This is a free concert. We're not charging anyone to come to this concert, a free concert. Now, we do have like a VIP section to help us raise some funds for these programs. And then when we do the program over there at Ocoee High School, it's free. It's not a charge. We have thousands of kids that are at that school all day long. And so what I was here today just to share with you, the jazz clinic that's going to be going on is on February 3rd, 2024 at Ocoee High School from like 8 a.m. to about 3 or 4 p.m. And then later on that night, we would transition over to the Lakeshore Center, and we have a free jazz concert. Now, this is Jazz in Ocoee, a free jazz concert in the city of Ocoee, featuring the jazz professors, that's Jeff Rupert and friends, with Devonda Simmons as a vocalist. We have a Latin group called Otto Music Project, and we also make sure that Ocoee High School band is performing. And then we raise funds for those students. We raise funds for our programs. Again, the programs that we do are free. And like I said, Mayor Rusty Johnson asked that we bring this program or this event to the city. Like I said, it's for free. And this is what we want to share with the citizens and everything that we're trying to do. So thank you so much.
Well, it is free, but I want to see if, I asked anybody that has any interest in the children or the high schools or anybody that wants to help sponsor, we need sponsors. This thing is really amazing. I started going out there about 13, 14 years ago, and there was hardly anybody in there, and it was the talent of some of the children and kids are just amazing. And then also UCF is one of the unbelievable jazz bands you'll hear. So what I wanted to do is see if the commission would vote out of our consent agenda, would donate $5,000 to this. This is a good culture event for the city of Ocoee and for people here.
You know, it's hard to get a dime out of me, but I will.
I know.
I will give the $1,000 out of my
Out of contingency.
I thought it was out of our
No,
discretionary.
I was going to ask Rob if we can do it out of contingency.
Oh,
Yes, you can, Mayor. You all have the entire $60,000 that was
Oh,
budgeted.
okay.
There's no money that's been taken out
If
of that.
that's so,
Yeah, I've had.
we can vote on it, or
$3
we can get a consent agenda.
consent.
But I would ask you that if you have anybody else, or if you know anybody else that would like to participate in it, this is, I know we do the Music Fest in April, but this is something that's really amazing if you come watch these young people and watch what happens when they bring in these people. They take them all day. I know I was in the band years ago, and this project they do is helping these guys and girls become where they go to college. It helps them get into college. So it's a way that they can get their future, and you won't believe the music. The music is astounding. So Joseph does a wonderful job. He lives in Oakland, I know that, but he does a great job at that, and I'm sorry you're backing out on Maryland.
But let me just add this. When I say the program is free for those that attend, so we pay the musicians, the clinicians, and we pay for some of those bands to come in. They may have some transportation issues, so we pay for the program to exist.
I'm telling you, you need to come to that on February the 6th.
February 3rd.
February the 3rd, 6 to 10 p.m. So
Yeah.
the city, consent is enough to do that, I think. Consent, Rob?
You almost got money in my discretionary fund. Boy, I saved.
Yes.
Mayor, I think in the past, for spending one out of the contingency, somebody made a motion and you
All right.
voted on it.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Hart. Do I hear a second?
I'll second. I'll go. I'm sorry.
Second by Commissioner Kennedy. Any more comments? No more comments? Let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. And anybody that wants to give us some money, we'd be free to do that. Give some more money to them.
Money back there, money back there.
Yeah, that's
He's now
one of our good new people in town that's going to be doing it. We'll get some money out of them. All right? Joseph, go back and give them a card.
But I want to add, I really want you to come out to this,
Yeah, it is
program.
amazing.
And like I said, we've been doing this for like 13, 14 years.
Come
I mean, there are kids that we have touched lives. And I leave you one point. If a person gets a bachelor's degree, they have a 55% chance of not being in poverty. And we are changing lives. And so a lot of these students that we work with, I mean, they come from some of the most challenging families. And they're graduating. A lot of these students are their first-time graduates in their families.
Yeah.
And like I said, I have kids performing in Japan, Australia, all over the country, and it really warms our heart that we can continue to do this and have the support of the city. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good job.
You don't have to. If you want to, you can.
We'll match your donation.
All right.
Joseph, get over there.
You better stand up and tell them your name.
Joseph, walk that way.
Tell them, come on up to the speaker and tell them that. We'll give you a couple of minutes, especially when you're going to do that.
We just wanted to say that that ties into kind of what we're doing in the community, and we would like to match the city's donation as well to this program.
Tell them who you are.
Also commit to being there as well, so.
Tell them who you are.
I'm Jamie Douglas with Montier Development. We'll be doing the Ocoee Regional Sports Complex.
And a UCF graduate, right? Baseball?
And a UCF graduate.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
They appreciate that. All right, so that's great. Thank you very much. That is amazing. You need to come to that and tell your friends and neighbors to come to it. You will be astounded at the music. All right. I got a few things here. Tuesday, March the 19th is our election. It's will be held in the city of Ocoee at the Lakeshore Center, right? Melanie, Lakeshore Center, right?
So the election for March 19th will piggyback off of Orange County. So there will be several polling locations
all
that
right.
they use for their election.
All right, and we started signing them up on Friday, December the 1st, and it ends Friday, December the 8th. The December the 19th and January 2nd regular city commission meetings have been canceled. The next regular city commission meeting will be held on Tuesday, January 16th. Christmas Day will be closed Monday, December 25th, and Tuesday, December 26th. Also, City Hall will be closed Monday, January 1st, in observance of New Year's Day. And also the city, and I know Rob mentioned it to me, we got an award for financial reporting achievement for our 2022 annual consolidated financial report. We appreciate that, and thanks to staff, and thanks to the city. The Ocoee Fire Department is having their 23rd annual Operation Santa. It started tonight and extends for the next 3 weeks on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. The times will be posted on the city Facebook page and website. When the float arrives, residents are being encouraged to give Santa new unwrapped toys. The toys will be donated to the Ocoee Police Department's Holiday Toys for Kids in Need. City's State of the City report will be on Tuesday, January 16th at 5:45 here at City Hall. A video will highlight the city's accomplishments of the last year and what's planned for 2024. The city's Ocoee's 16th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Unity Parade and celebration is scheduled for Monday, January 15th, 2024 at 10 a.m. The parade begins at Citrus Elementary School and ends at the West Oaks Mall with a post-parade celebration and keynote speaker. The post-parade celebration will be held at 11 a.m. in the food court area inside the West Oaks Mall. All right, the golf cart deal will be at 5 o'clock. I haven't got we'll post that on the city stuff. I got to find out where exactly they're going to meet at.
There's someone handling that, so the.
Yeah, Renee Harper and Adrian at City. I hate to bring this up tonight because they did today because I brought it up. We have got to do something about the Christmas stuff, Rob. This is kind of embarrassing. Every year, somebody forgets and we don't start till the second week of December, the first week of December.
Yeah, Mayor, no one forgot this week. I mean, we are actually, our contract with them was to start prior to Thanksgiving, and we were on them since then, and they told us they weren't going to start until the 4th. So we are already looking at some other contractor. This is the same one we've used for several years. If we can find somebody else out there comparable in cost, we can possibly go with a different vendor next year.
We also need to make sure on the trees downtown, need to wrap them with lights on the trees downtown.
Okay.
So that would be part of it too, so.
We could do that.
That Christmas decoration, at the conferences, there's always folks that
I
have
know.
Christmas decorations, and there's some really sharp Christmas decorations
We
that
didn't
are
do
out
it.
there.
I don't think we did that though.
No, but we'd like to go with some sharp Christmas
We will
decorations.
next year. So, we had last Saturday, what was it, last Saturday at the Lakeshore Center, they had the Christmas, with what?
They had dinner with Santa and Mrs. Santa, and it was a great event.
Amazing, a lot of
Absolutely
people.
lovely. And
Well
folks,
hit.
It was $10 a person, and it was just absolutely very well done, and please mark it on your calendar. I know at Easter, they do breakfast with the Easter Bunny, and then they do Christmas with Santa, and It's something that I think as a family, looking forward to, bringing your family for the next event is wonderful. It's just a great way for us to showcase our wonderful
Right.
activities we have in our community.
The other thing is, I want to say again, Mr. Douglas, that we, as the city, appreciate your activities and what you're going to be doing, but also your participation in our city is a big part of what I think happens when we get the right people here doing the right things. We appreciate it very much. So once again, thank you. I know Joseph will thank you again, too. So anybody else, you feel free to donate some money. All right. Have a great holiday, have a great Christmas, and everybody be safe.